Howdy, my name is Larry, and today I am back with another vintage cube draft on Cube Cobra, but today there is a little bit of a twist. I have two other Cube Cobra videos, and both of them I mentioned something about how I'm addicted to combos or love Storm, something of that sort. Well, today I'm going to be forcing Storm, and so you can, if you don't know what Storm is, you can see what Storm really is in this cube specifically, but more like in general, and you can see how one goes about forcing it and most likely how to ruin a draft. So let's hop right into the first pack, and let's hope I can get a Storm deck. Pack number 1 is going to be very powerful. High Tide is good for some Storm decks, not so much for others. Fractured Identity is just a very powerful card. Minsc and Boo, if I wasn't forcing Storm, this would be an easy Minsc and Boo take here. Minsc and Boo is very powerful. But I'm forcing Storm, so what I'm looking for is a card that helps Storm the best, and that would be High Tide. So as much as I hate passing Minsc and Boo and Fractured Identity and Mind Twist and Sneak Attack, forcing Storm. For this pack, Lightning Bolt is very good. Galvanic Discharge is also very good. Ponder is also very good with Storm decks. You can reorder your library if you don't like the cards on top, shuffle it up. Mystic Confluence is a very powerful card. I think we probably, in a Storm deck, ideally you won't really have to cast a Mystic Confluence. So I think a Lightning Bolt is my pick here. For the third pick, Preordain is very good. You could also take a Lorien Revealed, a Spirebuff Canal, a Xander's Lounge for some mana. Xander's Lounge is good because black is a pretty common combo. It's a pretty common Storm color because you have Yawgmoth's Will, has Dark Ritual, it has Demonic Tutor, it has Tendrils of Agony. If you, maybe even you're doing a Bolas' Citadel Storm deck, and be a little more wacky with it. So, but also red is a very popular. It's a very common Storm color as well because of Underworld Breach and Wheel of Fortune. So I think I might take this Xander's Lounge. Maybe hope this Preordain wheels. But honestly, it is a little bit silly taking colors just in case taking a land in case I get those colors. So I'm not going to do that just yet. Shelduck Isle is okay. It's not amazing in Storm deck. It is good, don't get me wrong. It pretty much makes anything blue to cast because it taps for blue and you have to tap something else to cast it. Prismatic Vista is just good overall for general mana, but I think Shelduck Isle is the pick here. Now, you might say Dig Through Time is very good. It depends how good it is on your Storm deck. If it's an Underworld Breach or Yawgmoth's Will Storm deck, which both allow you to play cards out of your graveyard, then the Delve is a little awkward because you exile cards from your graveyard so you can't use it anymore. But it is very good for finding combo pieces, so for right now I am going to take that. Arid Mesa is a good pick just because it's a fetch land and all fetch lands are good. But it is a little awkward to take because I've never drafted a white Storm deck before. You can draft green Storm decks and have like I don't know, I can't remember the cards, but there's like some green cards that can be good in Storm deck. Pillage the Bog is actually one of them. It's really good for searching your library for something. But white is just never in Storm, like ever. Palinchron is good with High Tide. You can get like infinite mana with that if you can get like 12 mana is a lot though. It's not great. Maybe you just take a Fairy Mastermind right here. Here, I think there's a treasure cruise. Again, the delve makes it awkward if I were to get a Yawgmoth's Will or Underworld Breach Storm deck, but for right now, I'm not super worried about it. This, I'm not loving any of these. Maybe just a Magda right here. Probably not gonna play that, but who knows? Blazemeyer Verge is fine if I can get Yawgmoth's Will again. Demonic Tutor, good to help with the mana there. Urza's Tower does absolutely nothing. Most of these cards don't really help Storm, but Soul Guide Lantern at least has a draw card effect as a static, so it could be pretty good. Desperate Ritual is more... It's like... It's good. I don't know if it's better than just the land, though. Here, we probably take this Talisman for our sideboard, and this Ajani for our sideboard, and Death Triumph for our sideboard. You're not in Storm decks, you're very rarely going to get late pick playables for your deck, just because the deck is so specific, and every card has to go really well in the deck, or else it just doesn't really work as well. This pack is Sol Ring. If Sol Ring wasn't in it, I would take this Orcish Bowmasters. It is very powerful, especially if you can get 1 or 2 wheel effects, which I don't have currently, but there's still a whole 2 packs left to go. But this is a Sol Ring. We could grab a Turnabout to go with our High Tide. That could be good, although it might wheel. Turnabout is one of those cards that it's a little bit weird. It feels a little bit eager to take it number 2 overall, but taking like a Manifold Key over it and hoping it wheels feels just as eager, so I'm just gonna take the card that's better right now for my deck. This pack, I mean, Upheaval is good with High Tide, I guess. It's good with an Upheaval, it's good with a High Tide Turnabout combo, but that's not what Storm is all about. Storm isn't really, you don't really want to play an Upheaval in a Storm deck, generally speaking. Maybe a Currency Converter, perhaps a Dark Ritual. We could also Hate Draft a Hymn to Tourach, because the number one thing, the thing that kills Storm the most is hand disruption. So like Hymn to Tourach, Mind Twist, Tourach, those just absolutely obliterate Storm decks. Also just counter spells as well. So you want to get stuff in Storm decks, you want to get stuff that can look at the opponent's hand, like Duress is good, Gitaxian Probe is good, Deep Cavern Bats is also good, just because so you can play those, and then say you play Gitaxian Probe, and then if they have a counter spell or whatnot, you know you can play around that, but if they don't, then you know you're good to go and can just storm off right there if you can. I think this is a Cabal Ritual right here, though. Where is half the cards? Where'd they go? Oh, there they are. Here's a Duress, just like I was talking about. It's great to be able to see their hand. I think I will take this. I've seen Sneak Attack, Kozilek, and Emrakul with Sneak Attack. Some robot is gonna have a hilarious deck, potentially. We take the Duress, though. There's Deep Cavern Bat. Trinket Mage is good if we were to get Lion's Eye Diamond or Black Lotus or something along those lines. But for right now, I think we might just take this Deep Cavern Bat. Manamorphose is good. Liliana of the Veil does not help in the slightest. Displacer Kitten Nothing real. I mean, it could just, you could, it doesn't really help at all. I was gonna say you could do something, but like the only thing you could do is flicker Deep Cavern Bat and change which card you take. So I think I'm just gonna take Manamorphose here. Forensic Agiteer is fine. I did see a Basalt Monolith in the last pack, or in the first pack, I believe it was. So if I take this and that wheels, then I could have a source of infinite mana, which in Storm decks is always pretty neat to have. Then it's just a matter of maybe getting Hangerback Walker, or even like a, what do you call it, fourth year Lingus, so you have something to do with infinite mana. But if I don't get anything to do with infinite mana, then it might just be better to just not take that and have a better card for it. Like Fatal Push might even be better if I don't get a card with infinite mana. But I am going to take Forensic Agiteer here just in case I get the Basalt Monolith to wheel. Occult Epiphany and Dismember are both very, very good. I think we take Dismember here. It is a very powerful card. It is basically usually going to be 1 to 2 mana, destroy target creature with no drawback at instant speed. Well, I guess the drawback is you pay a life, but, or pay 2. This pack is the very first one I saw. I'm not seeing anything that's great for Storm. Bitter Union isn't terrible with Storm, but it's also not good with Storm. Maybe we take Deathrite Shaman. I'm not sure what that would do, though. This is an awkward take. I don't know if we would really use anything here. We can get a Manifold Key. We can also take, I think we just take a Manifold Key, hope we get a Time Vault in the next pack. We could grab the Upheaval to go with High Tide Turnabout. So if like we can't go off this turn, we can at least like set them back to the Dark Ages. And then you can like drop a Magda, a Deep Cavern Bat. Something like that. So maybe we do take this Upheaval. It could be interesting. Concealing Curtain is pretty good to have. I'm not going to put in my starting deck just yet. Urtai is fine to have, but a little bit slow for what I'm trying to do here. Oliphant and Saheeli are very good late picks. And now we're seeing Mana Drain sail into the west. This is one of the great Storm cards for green because it discards your hand. So if you have Underworld Breach or Yawgmoth's Will and can play cards out of your graveyard, then you can it's basically draw 7 cards straight up for 4 mana, because when you discard your hand, you can still play those. So it's a very, very powerful. Discard your hand, draw 7 are extraordinarily powerful with Underworld Breach, Yawgmoth's Will, cards like that. And by cards like that, I mean just those 2 cards. But I don't want to go into green right now, because right now I'm already 3 colors, and that'd just be a really tough mana base to pull off in 1 pack. So we just take this Mana Drain, I believe. Force of Negation, very, very powerful. That would be my second pick. But Mana Drain is just a little bit better, especially for the added colorless. Say you counter a 4 mana spell, then in your next main phase you get 4 colorless mana, and then you can help use that to kick off your Storm. Here is a Vivi Ornithir. It is a good card with Storm. It's a decent card with Storm. I'm not sure how good it is with like an actual Storm. Here's a Walking Ballista, so if we get Grim Monolith, we can put in Forensic Agiteer. But at this point, I think I'd rather just take a... We have Duress, we have Deep Cavern Bat. I think we can take the Vivi. It's a fun card. I don't think it's quite as good as the Gitaxian Probe necessarily, but it is fun. So I don't hate taking it there. Daze is good. Dream Halls is funny. I don't think Dream Halls really helps right now. It is really good if I were to get an Underworld Breach or Yawgmoth's Will, which is looking increasingly less likely as this draft progresses, but who knows? Let's take Dream Halls, see what happens. Okay. Doomsday. We have Cabal Ritual. I think we take Doomsday, wait for Jace to wheel. Jace probably wheels here. If not, then that's kind of sketchy. But this is a Brain Freeze. We're getting a little bit of a Storm action. Love to see it. You love to see it. Now, I think we only have 2 more packs to see, so I'm probably not... There's a very, very slim chance that I get Lion's Eye Diamond. At this point, there is a 0% chance that I get it, but maybe a Yawgmoth's Will. If I'm very lucky. I could take Paliano and pretend that it just happens to be all 3 of my colors. Subtlety is pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean it is very good, but it's more of the card to... It's not great in a Storm deck, because this is one of these cards where you want to cast it. Like, there's a cycle of these where each one has Evoke, exile blue card from your hand, or exile that color from your hand. This one is, like, probably the one you want to hard cast the most. And in Storm, it's not all that great. Like, Evoke is fine getting a free Storm counter, but you do have to exile another card from your hand, so it gets rid of 2. So I think we might take a Faithless Looting here, honestly. Okay, Chromox is a good... I think we take a Chromox here. Tinker, we don't have anything to go with Tinker, and lose focus. I mean, we have Mana Drain. That's it. But I think we want to take this Chromox. This is the last pack we saw, so we're not going to get Lion's Eye Diamond. We're not going to get Yawgmoth's Will, which makes it a lot harder, but not impossible to storm off, especially if we have a Time Warp. Time Warp with the Dream Halls is always good. If we have Dream Halls, we can play Sail into the West. Is that better than playing Stern? Is that better than Stern Scolding? Probably not, but it's a lot less fun. We'll take Otawara here. We'll play that. I guess we'll take Nearby Planet, because it's every color, so that's good. Yes! Jace wheeled! I was afraid it wouldn't. Super, super glad that wheeled. I was really scared that it wouldn't wheel, but now we have a little bit of a combo. Doomsday is gonna be it's gonna be a chore to cast, but we have Cabal Ritual. So we could like Cabal Ritual for Doomsday. And then it's more reasonable to get 3 blue out. I think we grab we didn't get a single fetchable land, so Oliphant is not going to be in the deck. Actually, no, I think Oliphant will be in the deck. No, I don't think it will. I was thinking, because it's good, if you have Yawgmoth's Will, well, not Yawgmoth's Will, you don't want it with the Yawgmoth's Will, but if you have Underworld Breach, where you have to escape, or you have to exile 3 cards to cast something from your graveyard, Oliphant would be good because it's a mountain, but the mountain also goes into your graveyard, so it's basically like duplicating your cards. But I didn't get Underworld Breach, so there's no reason to even think that. I think we take a Talisman, probably sideboard that out. Vindicate and unidentified Hypership. So we didn't get a particularly good Storm deck, per se, but we did get a little bit of a bad one. We have Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, to go with Doomsday and Brain Freeze, potentially, if we can get a high enough Storm counter to mill ourselves out with it. We also have Dream Halls. There's not really a reason to have Dream Falls in this deck. It's the only way to cast Sail into the West, as I guess you could get a nearby planet. Then that taps for Forest. But it's not. I shouldn't even have drafted Sail into the West, if I'm honest with you. But it's a fun card, so I took it. And I probably might have even should have taken the Gitaxian Probe instead of this guy. But again, fun cards. I don't actually have to use this deck, so I can play cards that I otherwise wouldn't draft if I actually had to use this pile of garbage. So with that, I hope you have learned a little bit about what Storm is and how you draft it. Of course, this isn't a particularly good Storm deck to sculpt your knowledge of Storm around, but at least it has a pretty good curve, there's always that. But with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya!